Many years ago, I had been given my first big assignment as a writer. I was to write a daily email devotional for a ministry partner of ours. I was ready for the challenge. I put everything I had into that first batch of devos I wrote. Finally, the day arrived. The first email featuring my writing went out. But as I read it, my heart sank. It was definitely my writing, but it had been edited almost beyond recognition. The next day and the day after, it was the same story. I was ticked off. So I started a list. I wrote down everything those hacks had changed about my devos. Then I took my list and I stormed down to my boss's office to demand that these so-called partners of ours stop butchering my writing. But something stopped me there in the hallway. What am I doing? So I turned around and went back to my desk and I took another look at my list. If this is what our partners didn't like about my first set of devos, well then this is what I can change in my next set. And that's what I did. What I didn't know is that our partners had already given a list to my boss of changes they wanted to see in my writing. And when they called him back to tell him how impressed they were that I could make those changes so quickly, my boss was able to honestly tell them that he hadn't had a chance to talk to me yet. It reminds me of Proverbs 22:4, which tells us, "True humility and fear of the Lord lead to riches, honor, and long life." Now, I went on to write close to 300 of those devotionals, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. Those are the riches. Because I did that 180 in the hallway and proactively made those changes to my writing instead of complaining, my reputation and the reputation of our ministry went up in the sight of our partners. That's the honor. And while I don't know if my life has gotten any longer because of this, I'm pretty confident that my career would have died an early death if I had made it to my boss's office. My pride almost kept me from experiencing the riches that God was waiting to give me. So the next time you feel like demanding your own way, stop and consider if maybe it's you who needs to make a 180 and make some changes.